What's good with the fight fans? It's your boy Kijana back with some fight predictions this week. I already know I'm getting them out literally last minute. The fights are going to start at 12. There's going to be in Brazil. UFC Fight Night 170, Lee versus Oliveira. There's some good fights on this card. Again, sorry for getting them out early to everybody who's trying to make their bets and whatnot. I'm just going to do a quick video though. I'm not going to go into their records. I'm not going to go into who they fought beforehand. I did write a bunch of notes down. I just didn't get to actually talk about it. I'm not going to be able to talk about it in the video. So yeah, I'm just going to do quick picks and just trust me on my picks, I guess. Going straight into the prelims. Veronica Macedo versus Bm Alecky. Bm Alecky's the underdog in this fight. Veronica Macedo's a minus 160. This one is a pick'ems fight, basically, to me. I put a question mark by it on my notes, but Bam Alecky is 6 feet tall. Veronica Macedo is only like 5'3", 5'4". They're both submission specialists, but I do feel like Bam Alecky has better hands. So, but they're in Brazil, so you got to remember that if it goes to decision, and a lot of chick fights do go to decision, it could go in Veronica Macedo's favor for this one. But I'm gonna roll with Alecky on it. I feel like Alecky is a pretty decent fighter. I also feel like Veronica Macedo is a pretty decent fighter, but she is hit or miss. She won her last fight versus Poliana Viana and lost 3 fights before that. And Bam Alecky only made her debut not too long ago against, I think, Duda Santana. So, yeah, but I'm going to roll with Bam Alecky. Most people are probably picking Veronica Macedo on that one, which is why she's the favorite by a little bit. Next fight, Bruno Silva versus David Dvorak. Dvorak's making his debut. Bruno Silva, he's pretty much a powerhouse. There's not really much else to say about this guy. He's pretty well-rounded. He did lose his debut. And David Dvorak, he's pretty good. The guy's pretty good. If you watch some of his tape, he's also well-rounded. So he has 15 finishes out of 17 fights that he had that I can remember. And I'm pretty sure he only had a few losses. And I'm also pretty sure he had 8 KOs/TKOs and 7 sub victories. So, yeah, I'm rolling with David Dvorak on this one. That's going to be a pretty close fight to call. Another pick'em fight, basically. And the next fight, Mayra Bueno Silva versus Mayra Moras, the Iron Lady. I'm rolling with Silva on this one. They're in Brazil. She's a submission specialist. She hasn't fought in 2 years, since 2018. And Moras, I think she's coming off of a win. So she's the slight favorite, Bueno Silva, but I'm gonna roll with her to get the submission victory. I think she can definitely pull that one off. Next fight, Yaya versus Henrique Barzola. Everybody who's watched these guys fight, they know what they're coming in to do. Yaya's coming in to get submissions. He has 20 submission wins. That's a lot. I think he only has 1 KO/TKO, maybe 2. And Henrique Barzola, he gets a shitload of takedowns. He's one of the highest, he has one of the highest percentages from takedowns for that division in the UFC. The only thing about him is he'll get takedowns, but he doesn't really do nothing with them. He can't keep his opponents on the ground, and that becomes an issue because, I mean, he has great cardio, don't get me wrong, but if you can't keep your opponent to the ground and you can't wear on them, you can't do any really like ground and pound, you can't pull off any submissions, and what's the point of having those takedowns? There's really not. Yeah, you're scoring points in the judge's eyes, but if the guy's not taking any damage, then it's kind of pointless. But yeah, I'm still rolling with Henrique Barzola. He's the favorite in this one. Elias dos Santos versus Eleccin Chenko. Chenko's undefeated. He's 20-1. No, 20, and I think he has a draw or some shit like that. 20-0. And dos Santos, capoeira. He has a capoeira background. That's probably why they call him that. He's pretty well-rounded. He's very unorthodox. He can knock you out at any moment. He's explosive. But Chenko's also explosive as well. This is in Brazil, so I could see a lot of people picking dos Santos on this one. But I think I'm rolling with Eleccin Chenko. He did kind of gas in his last fight, though, so I'm a little iffy on this one. I think dos Santos could pull this victory off, especially being in Brazil, but Eleccin Chenko, man, he's 20-0 for a reason. He didn't really show much in his last fight, in my own opinion. But yeah, he's pretty good. Next fight, Amanda Ribas, a negative 330. Wow. Versus Randa Marcos. I don't think she should be a negative 330, but fuck, I guess that's what the odd makers are saying. Amanda Ribas had a great performance in her last fight. Randa Marcos has been doing a lot better as well. She's becoming more well-rounded. Her stand-up's getting a little better. She relies a lot on her wrestling, though. We've seen that in the Angela Hill fight when she submitted her. That was her first submission in the UFC, and it was a great performance. But Randa Marcos, I don't feel like her striking's as good as Amanda Ribas, and if she can't get Amanda Ribas to the ground, which Ribas has pretty good takedown defense, and she has submission skills as well, and they're in Brazil, so I think the negative 330 is there for a reason. I still don't think it should be that high, but I'm rolling with Amanda Ribas to get the win. Most likely a decision victory, or she's probably going to piece Randa Marcos up on the feet. But Marcos always has pretty good cardio, so I could actually see her having better cardio than Ribas and getting her to the ground a few times. Next fight, Jussier Formiga versus Brandon Moreno. I'm rolling with Brandon Moreno on this one. I'm just a huge fan of him. He's ranked number 5. Jussier Formiga is ranked number 3. Brandon Moreno is actually the underdog in this one. This is actually I feel like that's a good play. I feel like you could make some money on Moreno for this fight. A lot of people can make money on this one for Moreno. The only thing that I'm worried about I'm always worried about these Brazilian cards. And I always have a tendency to roll with the Brazilians in Brazil, just for the simple fact that they're so biased sometimes on some of these fights. And it's not just them; it's a lot of countries. When the hometown favorites are fighting in their countries, it's like, some of this shit's just ridiculous, dude. It should not. It's an obvious win for the other opponent, yet they still give it to the person who's hometown favorite. It's bullshit, dude. It's just like any other sport, NFL, fucking all of it, dude. Yeah, basketball. But I'm going to roll with Brandon Moreno. So, yeah, those are my prelim predictions. I'm going to go to the main card real quick. Like I said, I'm going to run through these pretty quick. So, yeah. Next fight, Francisco Trinaldo versus John Makdessi. I was a huge fan of John Makdessi when he first joined, but ever since he broke his jaw, he got his jaw broken from Groovy Lando Venata, I don't feel like he's been the same. Like, he doesn't have that same hunger, that same drive. But I mean, shit, if you've had your jaw broken, then you probably wouldn't. I'm rolling with Trinaldo. They're in Brazil, like I said before. I'm rolling with him. Johnny Walker, ranked 10, versus Nikita Krylov, ranked 12. Johnny Walker's a negative 160. I thought he would have been a higher favorite. I guess people are kind of counting him out now because he lost to Corey Anderson, and they're realizing that Johnny Walker doesn't have a gas tank at all. He's very muscular. He's a tall fighter. He's big. So, I mean, it takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of blood to move around your body, and you build up that lactic acid pretty fucking fast, being that big and having that much muscle mass. So, but I'm still gonna roll with Johnny Walker. He's so explosive and just a very unorthodox fighter that it's hard to pick against him. I did pick Corey Anderson to beat him. I've seen a lot of flaws in Johnny Walker's game, and I also see that he does have not a glass jaw, but he's touchable. He's definitely able to be knocked out. Anybody is, but his defense needs a little bit of work. But I'm a huge fan of Johnny Walker, man. Everybody has flaws in their game. So, yeah, I'm rolling with Johnny Walker to get the job done on this one. Next fight, Renato Moicano versus Damir Hadzovic. Renato Moicano is ranked 7. Damir is not ranked. He's a plus 270 for Damir. Negative 350 for Renato Moicano. That's interesting because he's coming off of 2 TKO losses, I'm pretty sure. He got demolished by Jose Aldo. He didn't have the answer for him at all, which I figured that was probably going to happen. It's weird because I picked Renato in that fight. Now that I look back on it, I should have definitely picked Jose Aldo, but I just felt like age was going to be a factor, and it wasn't at all. So, yeah, but I'm rolling with Renato Moicano. He's a great striker. He has pretty good submission skills as well. And Damir Hadzovic, he's a pretty decent striker, but he looked offbeat in his last few fights. Just didn't look himself. I mean, when he first joined, he was doing great, getting hella takedowns, having great top pressure and top control, using his ground and pound. He was doing all the right things, and it just seems like he fell off a little bit. I'm not sure what that was. Maybe family issues, maybe something outside of the UFC that no one knows about. But that all plays a factor in how these fighters are performing if their lives are not doing so well outside of the cage. But I'm rolling with Renato Moicano for sure. Next fight, Demian Maia versus Gilbert Burns. The battle of the submission specialist right here. Interesting fight, ranked 5 versus ranked 12. Demian Maia is so old, but he just doesn't take a serious amount of damage, so he'll be able to fight for shit, dude. He might even be able to fight till he's fucking 50. Who knows, dude? That's what's cool about submission specialists. Like if you get your opponent to the ground fast and you have a pretty good defensive skills on your feet, then you don't take as much damage. Like, yeah, he has a lot of cauliflower air. He does have damage that he's taking, but if you calculate the amount of fights he's been in, he's doing pretty good for himself, man. He's still healthy. Gilbert Burns, he doesn't take too much damage either, and he's got power in his hands too. He's a submission specialist, but don't get Gilbert Burns fucked up, dude. He'll knock you out as well. So yeah, I'm rolling with Gilbert Burns on this one. He's a more well-rounded and complete fighter. Maia hasn't improved in his other areas for mixed martial arts since he's been in the UFC, honestly, man. He's been the same kind of fighter. He has the same techniques, the same strategy in every fight. Everybody knows he's coming for submissions, or he's coming for takedowns, and he's gonna try to choke you out. But he never really mixes it up that well. He mixed it up a little bit against. His striking actually looked pretty decent when he fought Ben Askren, but I mean, that's Ben Askren. Ben Askren's not a striker either. He's a wrestler. So, yeah, I'm rolling with Gilbert Burns on that one. Next fight, Kevin Lee, the Motown Phenom, versus Charles Oliveira, du Bronx. Kevin Lee's ranked 8 versus Charles Oliveira, ranked 13. Man, Kevin Lee's last performance versus Gregor Gillespie, I just can't believe that he knocked Gregor out like that. It was something spectacular. It was something just... I don't even know what else to say about it. It was insane. I was not expecting that. A lot of people told me that Gregor was going to probably lose in that fight. I didn't listen. I picked Gregor Gillespie. He was a huge favorite. I thought that he was going to wear Kevin Lee down and gas him out, because Kevin Lee's known to gas out in the late second round, early third round. And that didn't play a factor because he knocked him out in the first round. So, yeah, what can you do? I think Gregor Gillespie's he's a great fighter. He's still gonna come back very strong. I think he has a chance to be a champion one day too. I think Kevin Lee has a chance to be a champion as well. He just needs to work on his defensive boxing a little more, just for the simple fact that he doesn't have a chin. The guy doesn't have a chin. But Kevin Lee's awesome, man. I like that guy. But I mean, fuck, dude. Like, why would you want a chin? Why wouldn't you rather have more defensive boxing than being known to be able to take a punch? Like, I would rather have defense and not take a punch, not take any damage, and fuck myself up than be known as the guy that can take a punch. It's stupid. Taking hella punishment for no reason. Anyways, Charles Oliveira, man, du Bronx. This guy is a fucking savage, dude. His striking is getting so much better. He beat Flash Gordon in a vicious KO. He uses his range very well, and he's a submission specialist, dude. I think he has the most submission wins in that division. And he's just shattering records, and he's still young, dude. Like, he has a lot of potential, and I think that he's gonna beat Kevin Lee in this fight, especially being in Brazil. If he doesn't get clipped with something, which I don't think he will, because Kevin Lee's not a power striker. Kevin Lee looks to submit you as well. He jabs your face off. He does have lethal kicks though, man. That kick versus like I said, that kick versus Gregor Gillespie, he puts a lot on his kicks, but his punches don't seem to have much power. Charles Oliveira seems to have a lot of power in his punches. He seems to have a decent amount of power in his kicks as well. And if he gets you to the ground, he'll wear on you. He's a taller fighter. And I definitely think he's going to beat Kevin Lee. I think he's going to get a submission win. And also, Kevin Lee missed weight by 2.5 pounds. So that's not a good look. Yeah. Those are my predictions. I told you it was going to be a quick video. If you guys like the quick videos more, let me know. Drop them in the comments. Lately, my last few videos have been like 35, 30, 40 minutes, somewhere around there. I try to get them like 25, 30 minutes, but sometimes I just ramble on, and I like to like break the fighters down a little bit more so you guys know that I'm doing my research. I'm actually paying attention to the fighters, and I'm not just saying, oh, I'm picking this person and like for no reason. So I don't want to lead you guys on. I want everybody to make some money. I want to make some money. Let's all get this bag. Hopefully everybody enjoys the fights. Stay safe out there. Wash your hands. And yeah, like, subscribe, comment. And like I said before, once I get to 150 subscribers, there's another giveaway. I already have some cool fucking shit I'm ready to give away, man. So yeah, man, get some people to subscribe to me. I appreciate the love.